Hello and welcome back to the Walterian channel, and this is Walterian here. So I'm currently at the planet orbit because Empyrion released a experimental to version 1.2, so I thought I might check it out. So the major things that in the experimental is that you can interact with the wandering NPC in the base. So you probably know that there are a lot of NPC that is wandering in one of the bases of many factions, and you can interact with it. And I think right now Empyrion is working a dialogue which like giving a little interest of interact with everyone over there in the base. So I just went over there and check out because the civilian it's also counted as a faction, I guess. So I went over there and checked it out, and it doesn't have any interactive options available. So I thought I might go check out something else as well. So the other things that is the planet, it's now have a beautiful ring around it. It's not just a asteroid mist that's surrounding that one planet, a giant rock, and now it's a ring. Well, I remind you that this version's only available in experimental, so if you guys want to check it out, you can just switch your game into the experimental mode. I think they already explained how to change it to experimental. I just told you that they already updated. So yeah, this is the current work that they have done so far. The ring, it's looking fantastically good. Let's go up and have a closer look. Yeah, it's definitely the visual changer. It's maybe not visual. It's definitely the game changer, despite you have a new player joining the Empyrion fanbase or giving the games a little look, and by the time if they check out the update, that you'll see that maybe it's a lot of change from the planet view perspective, because this is what the rings really look like in the real life. So yeah, it might not be that much because the options around it are really limited. So I guess we'll see what the rest of the changes has to be in the future. I hope it's the change that is what I wish for it. So here you can see that if you get closer to the ring, you can see there's a cluster of small sorry. So yeah, if you go closer, you see that there is actually a asteroid, a cluster of billion or maybe million. I assume it's billion asteroid just sitting within the ring. And this is what it looks like from the close-up version. And I can say they've done a very good job of how in the real life the ring is gonna work. So yeah, I'm very pleased to see all these changes. It's very nice. You can see the view from here. It's definitely gorgeous. So yeah, I think the other thing is the atmospheric changes, or maybe the lighting effect about the stars and atmosphere, I guess. So if you check out the star, it's a yellow type star, and then when it shining on a particular planet, you will see that the atmosphere is not, it's not like a white colors one, or maybe it's following the sunlight that is actually projecting from the stars to the planet itself. The atmosphere will be seeing like a yellow planet. Yeah, this sort of the lighting effects change. It's yeah, I don't think I can understand much about science, but apparently this is how the lighting works in the game, I guess. Yep, so that might be all the changes so far. There are other changes that I didn't aware about it, so I might not bother to explain it. I might not bother to explore it a little bit because I really don't have the intentions of getting myself into a hard working here. So there is another things that adding into a weapons unlock options. Now I'm gonna drop this on and yes, you see that this is a flamethrower. On a previous video I mentioned about like a flamethrower feel, how is that in the main game, but none other flamethrower it's actually added in the main games yet. So here it is, they put it in the experimental version. Yes, sorry about that. So they put it in the experimental version, and the model seems to be decent, and I have no idea where the trigger is. So yeah, it's definitely work. Not sure in the space though, because space has no atmosphere and it will just vaporize in the... yeah, I don't know. I think I might wanna test it out in the temperate planet with the wild species roaming around in that planet. And the magazine, and the size of the magazine is only 50. So yeah, you can have a lot of the flamethrower feel as you go on by with the pest control situations that you want to deal with. This might be a perfect choice for it. The other buttons, the right click doesn't do anything, so yeah, it just like this. The reload sounds are pretty good. No complaint about the reloading sound effect. And the fire sounds pretty decent. It's just that the shaking motions are pretty much like firing a gun with the backfire animations on. So it's maybe it's for the best, like not that much of a shaking. So yeah, it is pretty much, that's it. Pretty much I found it so far that I am interested in with the changes that I wanted. So yeah, let's get back to the asteroid that I just in. So in the meantime, I wasn't recording any video. I built extra things that I wanted to show you guys. Let's get back there. So I was intended to recording a video once I done building it. It's done like 5 days ago. It's almost like a week ago. So the reasons why I didn't recording anything because I was busy in other stuff. So I didn't have a job that interview with, and they agreed to let me work there for a while. Only part-time positions are available. So that I think there wasn't much work time for me to actually go every day. I have to go there and cover because basically with that company it's already have enough employees to keep the shop working, and as what happened right now around the world, the COVID-19s are really taking away many business over there, so they don't want to hire too much people to work with. The part-times are okay, but not too much work time because it wasn't really long-term position as it is. So I'm fine with that as long as I have the money, as long as I have my salary payment. I'm just okay with it. We all need money in a situation like this, so I wouldn't complain that much. That is the current situation I had, and I'm pretty happy that I got a job interview with, and I can probably support my family a little bit, all sort of that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're back on a frontier, and as you can see there are another giant monstrosity over here. So this one I intended for a resource carrier, a vessel that able to carry many resources with it, and then might go to the other system and starting up the space station with like the size of a crystalline frontier, I guess. So the only question is I need to get that many wood, which I don't think I have the spirit to do that in the first place. So anyway, this is a resource carrier. Let me dock this back at the. Yeah, it's kind of annoying to drive it along. Landed. Oh Jesus, it's kind of lag. So yeah, this is a resource carrier. As I mentioned it, I intended for resource carrying purposes. Sorry about that. So yeah, the design a little bit uglier because I wasn't really intended to build it this way. My imagination is probably like how the two sides of the cargo container is gonna be looking alike. So I probably just went with like this sort of shaping. So that is pretty much that I've done so far. So let me take you a look around it. Yeah, the first part is very visual because they are at the very inconvenient positions to expose to the danger of fire. Yeah, so I really don't have any place to put him elsewhere. So I thought it might be looking a little bit better with this kind of design that I had in mind. So yeah, I just went along with it. Not much doing here. The paint job is simple as it look. So yeah, don't mind about it. The extra large thruster, I think it has 8 of them. They're mainly for forward thrust and backward, and side thrust, and also like a pitch movement to move right and left, and then a large thruster on the top and the bottom as well for lift off and downward. And I don't think they have much power for rolling actions. So yeah, this one is pretty slow in the... I'll just show it to the screen here. So yeah, this is much of a speed as it looked like. So we are in the space right now, so the speed will increase a little bit. And then the turquoise detailed. Now yeah, as you can see, the pitch pretty low too, and yaw is +20, and then the roll is +30, and I do have some RCS installed in, so it's probably increased the speed of actions a little bit. So yeah, I'll just show you like many details in here. So you can see I have a ridiculous amount of ammo container, 6 of them, just in case that I don't have enough of the lifetime resource for ammo, and I don't have to refill them regularly. I can just have this many ammo container controller, and it will give me a little bit of the sustainable supplies of ammo. So yeah, it's pretty crazy that I have 6 of them. And then the cargo box, I have 16 container controller with extension as well, and you can see why the CPU point it's gonna be the tier 4 extender. It's a expensive build. I was intended to do that. And then the advanced constructor, I don't know if I needed that many advanced constructor. I might reduce the number of it, but for now it will be the 8 of them. So yeah, I'll change it in the future. So I got a So yeah, you can see this mini thruster that I just installed, that I just put it on. It is so much of a large thruster and extra large thruster as well, and this is why the CPU was hitting the limit, as with this much of a thrusters on it. It doesn't really need that much of a thruster, to be honest, but with the carrier like this I need to add like some force of capable of lifting off and do much of a movement. Yeah, that is pretty much the reason. So I have all this basic equipment over here. This many equipment are at the engineering section, and then the food process and fridge will be in a garden, which is on the front of the, like near the pilot seat. I'll show you the interior later. And then I have this many fuel tank installed, and I only have 2 large generator tier 2 for operating this carrier. 2 of them is many enough. 2 of them is more enough to power a entire carrier, so I just put 2 of them in there. And the gravity generator doesn't need that much of it because I only put it like 1 in the back and then 1 on the front as well, because the effective range are big enough to cover the 2 sections of the carrier on the front and the back. And many of the grow lights over here, and this is the other 2 container for resource gathering. You have the drill turrets and multi-turrets. Multi-turrets I planned on disassemble the space station that I took it down with the POI, and then the many oxygen tank, just so I don't have to refill it regularly, as I said that before. And then the ventilators, I don't have many of them on the ship, because I only want a general area with the ventilator that needed oxygen, especially the gardening area. So yeah. So yeah, the turret, I have many of the turret for defending the carrier. Most of the flank turret, plasma turret, pulse laser, rocket turret, and artillery turret on the top, and the rest of the cannon turret at the bottom, just in case if I wanna use the carrier for POI reading ship. I might as well just put this on them on the bottom, just so I don't have to drive my explorer to raiding the POI. Right, and yes, the carrier also capable of warping, and some pulse laser on the front. If you wanna get into the fight as well, you can use that. And I think there's probably a shield, and I think this carrier has shields on it, right? I didn't see where it is. Here. It's a tier 2 shield as well, so you won't have any problem of defending yourself at all. So now let's turn on the ships a little bit. because I'm taking you inside the ships. So the boarding ramp is behind the ships over here. Once you land it, you'll come up from the behind. And this is the elevator up here. You will arrive at the core room. It's not actually the core room. It's where the back sections of the ships are. And here you have the elevator. It's a teleporter. In case you want to teleport to a train station, O2 station for refilling the oxygens. Sorry. So up here, it's where you go to a engineering section. I don't have many paint work to think about it right now because I generally don't have anything. I generally don't have any options that I want to paint it, so it will be like this for the rest of the time. In here is the engineering section. Here is the basically every device that is important will be over here to protect it by the ships. But the armor is not good. As you can see, the armor is hardened steel. So on top over here is basically the turret and hardened steels protecting the inside. Not too much recommendation for combat, so I suggest don't get into the fight that much. And here is downstairs. It's where the gardening's happening in this section. You have 2 floors of gardening as well. You can decide which floor you wanna have food and medical corps. And in here is the storage of oxygen tank and fuel tanks. And I have to remind you that this sections of the ship is actually on the front. So I probably have the enemy vessel targeting the front instead of the things that back here, the thruster or the turret. If I'm fighting head forward, my fuel tank will be the first prioritized target to destroy. So yeah, once again I advise don't get into the fight that much. Yeah. And then finally this section's over here. It's where the piloting take place. Yeah. So I put down some decorating things here. A little basic paint job that I done. Not too much. Yeah, just sort of gave a little feelings that it's good looking ships. And I think I missed one section there. I haven't let you see where is the container take place at. So we're back at the boarding ramp section here. You go up to here and then you go up the stairs and you'll see the container inside. This is where everything is being stored for the resource and ammo. The ammo it's over here at the back. And then the harvester container, it's on the front here, only 2 of them. and then the rest is just a normal container. So yeah, as I mentioned, that this vessel is capable of carrying resource only, not for combat. And I think I want to show you one more place that I intended for this vessel design. And you go up to this elevator on the right when you come up to the boarding ramp, and then over here you'll see that there's two automatic doors that lead it to the outside, which you will see a resource cargo that I purposely make for the resource carrier as well. And yeah, I'm going to show you this very quickly. And the purpose of this vessel, it's just for docking to a resource carrier, just in case you have a overload of the resource, then you can put it over here as well. This vessel is also purposely designed for carrying resource as well. There are no guns on it. There are no weapons on this vessel. So you better hope that there is no enemy vessel that catching on to your presence and quickly get out of the dodge. And yes, it will have a shield equipped so that you can run away while being protected by the shields. And I'll just quickly show you around inside. And you may notice that it's on the sideway because you have to dock this cargo vessel on a sideway round, because the landing gear it's on the bottom over here. This is the bottom section that you're looking at right now. So yeah, that automatic door is made for the door that I put it down here. Yeah, right over here. So basically just that, and let me show you inside here. I better turn off the... yeah. So back in here is where the container storage are taking place in. Not too much, but it's big enough to store everything in here. And then back here is where the generator and shields are. And then you have the clone chamber and medic station. If you heard, you can take a little healing process going. This is where the tier 2 generator are at. And the vessel itself is tier 4? Yeah, it's tier 4 as well. I didn't plan this pretty well as I building it, so it just ended up to a tier 4. Yeah, it counts as an expensive build. Yeah, I don't know how am I gonna design a cargo container with lower CPU point. I guess maybe I can change all the medium thruster to small thruster, but that is too slow for the... but that just way too slow for the cargo itself, so I decided not to do that. So this shutter door, it's basically designed for the hatches that open down there. Once you like open the shutter door and then you go up here. Yeah, like that. When you successfully dock onto the vessel, and then you'll be coming up from this end of the automatic door and then straight in there. Basically that is what I intended to do it. And because of the gap doesn't work, yeah, if the cargo vessel, so it's matching up with the line over here, it will get stuck outside. You can't actually get in. So I have to make the cargo vessel 2 blocks shorter than the normally I build it for. So yeah, it will have the gap between the cargo and the space over here. It's only the 2 blocks wide, just so I can have room to move around a little bit and adjust it while docking at the vessel. And yeah, you can have 2 cargo vessel, build it, and then you can dock on the resource carrier. No need to drive it around, you just need to dock it on, and then the carrier will do the rest of the traveling. So yeah, this is probably the things that I build. Let me just turn it off. So yeah, this is probably the only things that I built so far. And right now I might have a new project that I wanted to do it. And as you can see that I'm already begin a little bit. This is just a scale measuring skeleton. I don't know what type of block that I wanted to build, just so I don't exceed the CPU limit. Yeah, as you can see, I only placed down like a 50 hardened steel block, and it's already 1100 CPU added in. So I might just make the entire thing to large steel blocks only. I don't know, I'll decide it in the future. So what this design about? So the purpose of this vessel, it's that I think I'm gonna keep it secret. Until I finish it, I'll tell you what the vessel purpose about. So yeah, that will be everything for this video today. I'll be starting the new series of the maybe not, or maybe later in the future. So I'll be starting in a new game soon, and I'll bring all of these creations to my series that I'll have in the near future. Oh wait, I almost forgot that. Remember the explorer that I showed you in the previous video? I think I forgot to show you the section of the vessel. Yeah, if you come into the entrance and you will see a elevator going up, this is the section that I forgot to introduce. So up here is basically everything you need that is on the second floor. The gardening, the advanced constructor, armor, and the medical device over here as well. I don't have any interior design, so I just gotta put it over here. So in here is where your clone chamber and your personal equipment locker and repair station. and then the generator is on the other side, and the container will not be interacted personally, because why interact personally when you can just open a control panel and just find anything that you want in here. So yeah, it doesn't have the purpose of interactive personally. So I sealed off that area, and just in case if I want to check the ammo container, yep, pretty full. And that is all of it on this sections. And I think I also forgot about the vessel that I mentioned before. So if you seen this vessel over here, it's the combat CV that I mentioned in the previous video. So I completed it, but the limitation of the turret does not add up to the expectation. So I might have to rework this elite crystalline a little bit, just to fit the normal survival world a little bit. I'll definitely bring it back up as I done adjusting the turret problem. The rotations, the mobility, it's no problem at all. It's just the turrets that is not acting as my expectation. So I have to rework the combat CV a little bit. So this will be temporarily off the spawning list menu for a bit. So yeah, that will be all of that will be all of it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below that how do you feel about the creation that I make, or maybe some advice for building a vessel that is actually helping it. So, and subscribe to me if you want to see more content of the Empyrion and many other gameplay series in the future. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next time. Goodbye.